Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada. And today I wanted to show you how I made the card that I shared as part of the Festive Fridays challenge today. The theme for this challenge was National Lighthouse Day. I think it's day. And so I've used the Sailing Home stamp set. It's the perfect one for this, in my opinion, because it actually has a lighthouse. And so it made it really easy for this. So we're always challenged to use 3 items from the inspiration list. And so for this one, I've used a lighthouse, blue, and ink blending. And so let me switch over to my desktop and I'll show you how I made the card. First of all, I actually want to say if it's the first time you found me, welcome. And I hope you'll subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if it's not your first time visiting my channel, welcome back. And I hope you have taken the time to subscribe. Okay, let me switch over and I'll show you how I made the card. So this was the card that I shared and I absolutely love, I've always loved how cards look when you emboss an image. In this case, I've embossed it using white embossing powder, and then I've sponged using my blending brush over top of it just to kind of show so that you can see it's almost like it's magic where that appears, and then stamped some seagulls and added a sentiment to it for what I think is a really pretty card. Okay. I've used the Sailing Home, and as I said, I think this is a perfect one for this Festive Friday challenge because it actually has a lighthouse. This is always one of my favorites because we used to own a sailboat. So for me, this stamp set is near and dear to my heart. Okay, so I have my pieces. Now, all of the written instructions and the measurements for this card will be on my blog, and the link to my blog will be under my video. So I've got a piece of Night of Navy cardstock that I have cut 5.5 by 8.5, and it's folded in half. And I'm just going to give it a good crease with the bone folder. Okay. And then I've got a piece of smoky slate that is cut 4 inches by 5.25, and a piece of basic white that is 3 3/4 by, sorry, what did I say? 4 inches by 5.25, and this is 3 3/4 by 5. I then have a piece of Night of Navy that is cut. This is 3/4 of an inch, and this is longer than you need, but I'm going to trim the end. I'm going to make it a flag end. And then I've got a piece that is 1/2 inch of basic white that is just a little bit shorter that we're going to stamp the sentiment on. And I'm just going to grab the punch as I realized I missed the punch that I need to be able to trim the ends. All right, so we're going to be using the banners. The banners. I always get this wrong. Take a pick. Maybe something like that. It creates great flag ends. All right, so the first thing that we're going to do is we are going to stamp the lighthouse. So I'm going to grab the lighthouse and we'll put it on this big. And I might as well grab my sentiment while I'm at it, and the birds. Okay, there we go. Okay, I'm going to use Versamark for the lighthouse because I'm going to use and put embossing powder on it. So I'm just going to stamp kind of roughly to the left but the middle. So stamping that in Versamark, which I'm sure you're not going to be able to see. I'm going to grab a scrap piece of paper, and I've got the white Stampin' Emboss powder. Now Stampin' Up! Has brought back lots of colors of embossing powders. So there are 2 different packages. I think there's 3 different colors in each. The white comes in the basic pack, which is white, clear, and black. And then they also have a metallics pack that has gold, silver, and copper. So it's great that they've brought the embossing powders back. Okay, now this is going to be a little bit loud. I will try and talk loud and over it, but I'm going to see, I don't know if you can be able to see as the magic happens. And it's going to be a little hard to see, but I'm just going to heat emboss this. Um, so really you just want to hold your heat tool in place until it starts to melt, and then you can start to move it over the whole image. Trying not, of course, to burn your fingers as you go. And you just want to keep slowly moving it until the whole image is shiny and no longer matte. You will definitely, oops, there we go, definitely be able to see. Now, I still don't think you're going to be able to see this very well. So the magic is going to happen when I actually start to take my blending brush. Now I'm using Smoky Slate, and I'm just going to take and I'm going to start just blending ink, and you will hopefully start to see the lighthouse come out. It's like it's coming out of the fog. There, you can actually start to see a lighthouse now. And you can go over this as much as you want and apply color as far around it as you actually want. I'm just about thinking that's enough. So now I've got my lighthouse. Oh, and I guess I should use this while we have the Smoky Slate out. I'm going to stamp some seagulls. Like that. Okay, so then this piece, you can take your adhesives. I'm using Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to adhere this piece, oops, to the Smoky Slate piece. That. Sometimes my paper gets a little warped, which this one has. So I'm going to use a glue dot and just put a glue dot underneath here where it's kind of warped to try and get it to lay flat. Not sure why I did that. Probably should have put a little bit more adhesive on the back. All right, and then we'll adhere this piece down onto our card base. Make sure it's going the right way. That. There we go. And then, before I stamp this, I'm going to use my punch to punch a flag end in both ends, or just in one end of this. Like that. And then this piece will go in like this. There we go. Now, I realize that this is too long here, so I'm going to trim this to like that. There we go. Okay, now I am going to stamp this in Night of Navy, which I've managed to forget to bring over. So let's grab my Night of Navy ink. There we go. Stand up to see this. So I'm going to try and stamp this straight. We'll see how I do. Oh, not too bad. It's always a surprise. All right, now I'm going to just line this up. It's on here where roughly where it's going to go. and trim. There we go. And then this will just, this piece you can use Stampin' Seal on. And then we'll add somewhere. Lost my dimensionals. They've gone for a walkabout, I guess. I'm not sure. Had them a minute ago. Another card. Must be here somewhere. All right, so then this piece, this sentiment can just go right in the middle like that. Now, still not happy with how this is warped, so I'm just going to take another dimensional and just tuck underneath here. There we go. All right, so there's the card. That was my original. I guess I did a little bit more blending on this one, but you can do as much as you like. So I absolutely love how this turned out, and there are so many ways to use this blending technique. So I hope you'll try it. Let me just switch back. All right, there we go. So thanks very much for joining me, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And if you do have any questions, please post them underneath this video or on my blog. I'm happy to respond to them. I hope you enjoyed the card. Thanks very much for joining me. Happy stamping.